Coronation Street airs heartbreaking Todd twist as Theo's rage boils over. Coronation Street has shown more troubling developments in the disturbing Todd Grimshaw and Theo Silverton storyline as Todd is forced into taking drastic action to hide the truth. George Shuttleworth has been doing everything he can to help Todd break free from his controlling and abusive partner, even giving him a hold-all packed with essentials like toothpaste, shampoo, and some cash. But at the beginning of tonight's episode, Theo found the bag and immediately demanded an explanation from Todd. Todd attempted to cover himself by claiming it was simply a gift from George for his upcoming move to Belfast with Theo, but it was obvious that Theo was barely keeping his temper under control. Instead of turning his anger directly on Todd, Theo stormed into the bistro and slammed the hold-all down in front of George. In a tense and threatening confrontation, Theo aggressively asked George if the bag belonged to him, before warning him not to look at Todd but to look at him instead. He chillingly suggested that people can disappear, implying that George may have wanted Todd to vanish without anyone noticing. Theo then announced to George, Christina Boyd, Summer Spellman, and the gathered Platt family that he and Todd would be leaving to begin a new life elsewhere, a revelation that left everyone around the table shaken. To maintain the illusion that he was still fully under Theo's control, Todd cruelly lashed out at the people trying to help him. He insulted Sarah, mocking her love life, and accused Christina of only being interested in George for financial gain. He even took a swipe at Brian Packham, dismissing him by saying he was not even worth insulting. Although Todd managed to calm Theo down for the moment, his harsh words left his loved ones heartbroken and devastated. Those around him have not given up hope and are still trying to protect him, but with the planned move to Belfast drawing dangerously close, the question remains, can Todd escape before it is too late? Coronation Street confirms major pregnancy twist for Megan after grooming storyline exposure. Coronation Street has revealed another dramatic turn in Megan Walsh's pregnancy storyline, with Thursday's episode confirming a huge truth amid the fallout from her controversial grooming plot. For several months, the teacher, played by Beth Nixon, has been central to one of the soap's most disturbing storylines, involving an illegal relationship with her student, Will Driscoll. In an attempt to hide what was really going on, Megan also began a fake romance with Danielle Osborne to keep suspicion away from her. When she later discovered she was pregnant, she chose to tell only Will about the baby. Once the truth about the situation began to emerge among the families involved, Megan was brought in for police questioning. However, she was later released because there was not enough evidence to charge her. After she refused to take a DNA test that could confirm who the father of the baby was, Danielle ended their relationship. Then, in the latest episode of the long-running ITV soap, it was revealed that Megan was no longer pregnant, seemingly after suffering a fall during a confrontation with Maggie, Will's grandmother. The twist followed the earlier revelation that Megan, who lives with PCOS, had previously planned to have a termination. However, until now, viewers had been led to believe that she had changed her mind and gone ahead with the pregnancy. Following the incident, Megan reported the matter to the police. When DS Lisa Swain later arrived at the Rovers to question Maggie, the pub landlady dismissed Megan's account completely, branding her a liar and insisting she had simply fallen over. Later on, Maggie stormed over to Megan's flat and banged furiously on the door. There, Megan told her that she had dropped the police complaint, but also claimed that she had lost the baby because of the fall, before adding another shock twist by insisting that Danielle had been the father all along. Earlier in the day, Megan had tried to downplay the whole situation during a secret meeting with Will in her car. She told him it was not as significant to others as it was to them, adding that although the situation mattered deeply to them, people were kind and had even offered her counseling, because women lose babies every day. Will, however, reacted emotionally, insisting that they had not simply lost their baby, but that it had been killed. Megan then suggested that the miscarriage could give Will a way to finally walk away from their relationship, but he made it clear that he was nowhere near ready to let go. Back at home, Maggie later shared the news in a cold and blunt manner, dismissing the unborn child as the baby of a child abuser and questioning what kind of future it could ever have had. But Ben, Will's father, took a very different view, pointing out that any potential evidence that could have helped expose Megan had now been lost because of what happened. In the episode's final scene, viewers saw Megan attending a therapy session where she finally revealed the real truth, that she had chosen to have an abortion. During the session, she admitted that she had been given the chance to become a mother, but had decided on a termination, before making a dark and troubling comment about already having gotten rid of one child and questioning why anyone would ever trust her with another. Ben cuts Maggie out for good as Coronation Street's Driscoll family falls apart. Maggie Driscoll is hiding more secrets than Shuttleworth's independent funeral service has coffins, and in Coronation Street, one of those long-buried truths is finally set to come to light, shattering her bond with her son Ben Driscoll for good. Pauline McLynn may no longer be serving tea as the unforgettable Mrs. Doyle in Father Ted, but in Corrie, a very different kind of scandal is about to be poured out. In a recent twist that left viewers stunned, it emerged that the sharp-tongued Rover's landlady once had a passionate affair with none other than Jim MacDonald, the moustached Irish legend of the cobbles. After the iconic former bad boy recently died off-screen from pneumonia, Maggie attended his wake, where one of Jim's old army friends identified her as Jim's big secret. So how far would Maggie go to protect that truth from coming out? Apparently almost any distance, even murder. In last Christmas's flashback special, viewers were taken back to a younger Maggie's birthday, where she shoved her husband Alan to his death during a furious row about her affair. Now at last, we know exactly who the other man was. But Ben Driscoll remains completely unaware of the truth. For years, Maggie has fiercely guarded her family and done everything possible to stop Ben from ever learning about his hidden connection to Jim MacDonald. Which makes the whole situation even more ironic, because the Rover's landlord has recently developed an unlikely friendship with Steve MacDonald, without either of them realizing that they are actually half-brothers. And the timing could hardly be worse for such a bombshell to explode. The Driscoll family is already reeling after discovering that Will, Ben's son and Maggie's grandson, had been groomed into a sexually abusive relationship by his predatory athletics coach, Megan Walsh. With Will still emotionally manipulated and desperate to be with Megan, the family has been doing everything they can to help him understand the truth and break free from her influence. Aaron added that Ben is deeply disappointed in himself and is now doing everything he can to put things right, though repairing the damage with a teenage son is far from easy and will take a lot of effort.